Vanakkam. This is Hyder Ali Sayyed from Asivagam, United Under Tamil.
Y'all tell me what y'all think about this here. Check this out. When y'all take a look at this link here, scroll down to the map that you see on this picture on the cover of this link. So,
wait, a quick one. And this one chronicle. I mean, this is from which book you say?
Yeah, First Chronicles.
Okay, from the Bible. The Bible. So they omitted Cain's name and later period.
Not understanding your question. What you mean?
Because
saying that
here in line of descendants, the Cain and Abel's name is not there. It is also mentioned. It's also
the reason why they start with Seth. Recognizing that it was different genetic lines, so they're starting with Seth's seed, which was the replacement for Abel. And they are going to mention Adam and Eve. It's just that they don't start with it. They start with Seth. If you go and check out First Chronicles, you can see you can see how a lot of these seeds got mixed between Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And then also, one thing I tell people to keep in mind is that whenever we're speaking about Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah, a lot of times people limit it to that as if all the people on the planet today are the children of either one of these three individuals, and that's not true.
Exactly, that is what is happening about it. The saddest part, in my point of view, is it is not that they say that all the world comes from the three. A lot of segments are desperate to identify themselves with any one of these three. That is the saddest part. These guys, okay, fine, they sit in one corner and sitting and talking about the rest of the world and say, yeah, these guys, yes, I know they are from this, they are from that, and they keep giving names because, for your world or Western world, that may be something new and unique, but not for us, because the same thing has been happening for the last 2,000 years in our land. If you say anything, there is a segment who we always identify them as outsiders, but who keep proclaiming that they are the most intelligent beings in the planet. By number, they are pretty small. If I say, let's say, if I say Murugan is my ancestor, they won't say that, oh yeah, is it? They never say that. They will say that, oh yeah, okay, we know. Murugan is like his so-and-so son, and so-and-so's this, and he came to a land. It is because there was a dispute in the land. He had an elder brother. They given information, another part of information we never heard of. They will give us a story and tell us that why Murugan is here and how we became an ancestors. That is, like if I ask you what's your ethnicity, if you say that you're Nubian, then it's, oh yeah, Nubian, yeah. I know Nubian. Nubian is this, it came from, then I give you entirely a different picture and I create a story. Then I say that is how you Nubians became Nubians. Then how would you feel? That is exactly, these people do that in our land for hundreds of years. So that is exactly the same way I am looking at Torah. These guys got a good accommodation in during Babylonian captivity. They were sitting happily, comfortably, and they had nothing else to do because of zero skill set. That all they did was that they took a pen and paper and started writing about each and everybody they heard about. Period. That's my understanding of Torah. That's
I have a question. question. Peace. Do you guys is there a Tamil name for the European settlers for the Romans?
You are specific about Romans?
Yeah, is there like a Tamil expression of speaking of the Romans or the European settlers? Is there like a Tamil word? Like, cause you said there's a Tamil word for Adam, it's spelled with two A's. You know, breath, man-made flesh. That's what we even teach in our more studies. Man is breath made flesh. But like, is there a certain terminology or a word that identifies the European race in Tamil? Do the Tamil traditions speak of them?
Yes, of course. Of course, we have a name for them, and I think you already know about Adam, right? In Tamil, denotes God, and Dam denotes breath. It can be understood as God's given breath. That's the meaning of Adam. But in Hebrew, the close related word is Adamic, which refers to a red land. It is not even actually matching Adam. It is because Adam was a black man, so red doesn't match us with them. But Adam, God's given breath, matches. Based on Tamil, it matches. Okay, moving on to this Roman, we call them Yavanar.
Reuben, if you don't mind, I wanted to ask Bernie something real quick. Question. Hey, Bernie.
Yo.
Hey, what's going on, bro? I was just going through your, being a creep, going through your following. You only follow 9 people. Are you very selective of the people you follow?
Yeah, I'm pretty selective. Some people have also changed their ways, so I just, decide not to follow certain people anymore.
Okay, and the people that you do follow, you hold them in high regards?
No, I don't know. Okay. They have episodes. I'll listen to them
You got to be specific, Nakwa, because I noticed something.
What did you notice? I only speak up when I notice something. What did you notice?
Because I wanted to ask a question based on this list, because he follows Yahweh. So I was wondering that whether he endorsed his point of view.
Yavel?
Yes.
Yeah, he identifies as Moorish American like I do.
Right. He thinks we all come from America, though.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a semantical type demonstration. I think he's coming from. Me, we all have our differences. Some of them they push like legal advocacy. I push more of the scripture, but everybody's a little different.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the legal advocacy. I've held many rooms with people that, like him, have said that Egypt started in America, Eritreans, all this, Tamils, all that in America. The Exodus is from Texas to California. Peru is Jerusalem. These are the things they believe. Do you agree with these things? Because you follow these people.
Yeah, I don't have enough information to make a judgment on that ideology. No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe it, or you don't have enough information to say?
Yeah, I don't have enough information. So, yeah, both. Yeah.
But being a Moor, though, in the understanding, none of that, what I just said, is accurate. There's nothing in the Americas that was original. So, I mean, from all your studies so far, that should be an instant, no, that's wrong. You can't say that. Nothing has been proven. There's no anything about it, right? Or am I mistaken?
Like I said, I'm not sure. I'm just I specialize. Everybody has their own specialties. You have some people who push more of the flat Earth, round Earth. Some are more, like I said, they put more of the legal side of things. But like me, yeah. I got your question. But like me, I just don't know. I don't really delve too much in the geographical like department regarding like my debates. For me, is more religious. comparison between the Jewish and the Roman Christian faith. Just speaking against Hadith and Sunnahs.
Right.
And
but even all of that though, you can't be a Moor, period, and not understand religion. So the fact to say that all of these books that say that they're dealing with Africa, don't matter what book you pick up, how are any Moors saying that it started in America? How are any Moors saying that Egypt started in America? Eritreans, this language, never ever found in the Americas. How's that in the Americas? How can you break down the Sphinx, the Mouth Gorge of Aswan, the Exodus, the Cataracts, Mount Sinai, all a reason why it's in Gibbs in ancient Egypt, going straight down to Antiquity, Eritrea, where you find Mount Sinai, the oldest mountain lava lake in the world. How can you sit there and say, well, people got their, I'm not skilled in that. It's just a lie is a lie, though. You got to call it out straight up, If somebody's pushing this, saying that they are more, that's a lie. That shit is not true. Like, that's kind of disingenuous to say, well, I need to look into it more. How can you get to your study of understanding or understanding and come to that conclusion?
Well, even as the Circle 7 says, and I'll leave this in conclusion, because like I said, it seems like your debate is with someone else on this topic. I don't know. Bro, I got you for the last time. I got you. I got you, brother. You good? You good, brother? You good? You good? I'm just ready to conclude. I have no argument in this. I have no stance in this fight. You made it clear twice. I got you, brother.
It's not a fight.
That's not what I'm saying. You're good. You're good. Just breathe. We're good. We're good. Let me. You finished already twice. Let me say my part. All I was just saying in conclusion is, again, I don't know. I don't even have enough information to even agree with you. Like it even says in chapter 7 of our scripture that man knows not by being told. So I'm only so far what I've heard people tell me. Thank you. What people have told me was some of these things, and I heard other things. I just don't know because I haven't took time to what's the word what's the term? Not level the playing field, but to well, I respect you said it the way, brother. So thanks for the conversation, man. Let's move on. But Reuben, can you repeat that?
Is a big excuse. How can anyone sit here and say that, oh, well, I don't know enough, but then claim to be a Moor? We're talking about where Egypt, where Africa is, where okay, so then...
Okay, well, if you want to get constitutional, brother, well, according to the... Hold on, okay, now, hold on, let me sit up. Now I'm sitting up. Brother, man, AK, man. According to the Universal Human Rights, I have a right, according to Article 15, to not only proclaim a nationality, I also have a right to change my nationality. As an example, I have Blackfoot heritage. I can run over to the Blackfoot organization and I can become that if I decide to. That's first, number one. Number two, this is my religious right to also proclaim who I am. This is a part of the whole doctrine. It seems like you know more than I do about it. So you will know in the Circle 7 it says that every man has a right to his own divine, to worship under his own divine tree and fig leaf. So my way to me, your way to you, brother, unless you want to really agitate me regarding my religious rights, which we all have a constitutional heritage.
Why?
So how about we just leave it at that? It's my religion to proclaim who I am.
I'm not attacking your religion, brother.
It seems like you're desiring an answer that I don't have an answer for. That's what I mean. Like I don't know what debate you just had, but it seems like you're still heated on the previous debate that you had with somebody else that's speaking about something that I don't know. You see what I'm saying, brother? It's like I'm trying to desire for you. Give me the answers to the blueprint of a spaceship, and it's like, brother, I'm a psychologist. I don't have nothing. I don't know anything about spaceships. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So don't make it seem like I'm being disingenuous. That's why I told you. I don't know, brother. I don't have the information to even agree with you or to agree with Yabel. There's some boys out here that believes in flat Earth and round Earth. You know that, right?
I never brought his name up. First of all, I never brought bro's name up.
I'm just saying. The point is, AK, and in conclusion, I don't have the information to even agree with you or to even agree with him on that subject matter because that's not my field of study that I look into. Now, if you want to have a debate or argument or some facts to bring up or some contradictions regarding psychology, now I'm your guy. Now we can talk. But you're talking about platonics. I don't know. So whatever you assuming that I have to know, just for me to be a Moorish American, it's best if you ask me what is it that my school of thought teaches, because every school of thought is different. Don't bottle us up and one big paintbrush. That's going to be your first mistake. That's why you're getting the pushback that you're getting. Think about it. The answer is in the ether. Feel the reaction.
No, please hold on.
So just conclude the conversation, AK. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Peace. This is peace.
Hang on. Now, hold on.
As long as it's about another subject, I'm gonna remain silent on that subject. But as long as it's about another subject, we can talk.
I can't even talk.
You can talk. You can talk about the same subject. I'm just not gonna reply to it.
Hang on. I'm gonna speak about modes now, based on my understanding, and both of you can get what it means and make use of it. In my understanding, people who call Native Americans, they stole the term Moors to back up their theory. It is because of only one reason that globally in the whole world, Moors were known for their seafaring, for being sailors, for building ships. So they stole it. That is my strong point of view. If any one of them comes sit and discuss with me, I would go in depth to speak about Moors. So based on that term, they are building their stories is my point of view very clearly. That is one of the reason, I guess, that like Nakwasi is any other Moor, he thinks that they endorse to the same view. Now coming back to Moors. The reason why I know about Moors and why I have high regards and why I want to know more about Moors, it is because my books are important to me, my historical books, where it refers to Moors, it talks about Moors as people from West Africa. It doesn't, that is the earlier period, and later, and even the term Moor is never been used in our region. But later we come to know that they were, by the Western historians, they were known by the Moors or by themselves, and during the Spanish domination. So, in later period, like that is about somehow 1,500 years or so, so they were pretty well known, and besides their story, America business, I totally reject, because of their glory in the last 1,500 years is why that they stole the term to say that by ship they came here or that they went everywhere. Nonsense. Those people, anyway, keep them outside. Now, these more people, they were well versed with building ships and being sailors for thousands of years, not just 1,500 years. 1,500 years is when they had that authority to build a navy and dominate regions. And even since then, and even prior to that, they were all around the globe. They were one of the prime supporters for us. That is why the Moors are living in our land till today. While I'm speaking, Bernie can Google a Sri Lankan Moors Association. In our land, Moors are known by a name, Maraikayar. The Maraikayar means Marakayar, which means Marakalan. Marakalan means, that is another term for ship. A vehicle made of wood. That is what it means. Those Marakayars are living in our land for more than 1,000 years. When Prophet Muhammad came, they started following Islam. So they are in our land very much. They are very highly close to my ethnic also. In fact, we call them Bawa. That means our father's sister's husband. That is the term we use. That is what it means. That means and they have married types of Muslims here who never came by the Khyber Pass along with the Persian army, who's been always living with us before even they came in. One of them is specifically Maracayas, they are known as Moors in Sri Lanka. So they've been here. So they always hanging around along with us, with our kings, Raja Cholan and everything. And they all know West Africa and most of the West African region. We have a very strong connection, Cameroonian, and there are many other which you can instantly remember. The term Moors, this is first of all, the term Moors is not an ancient term. The term Moors is a later one. That is, maybe they have it for about 1,600 years, 500 years. That is not prior to that. Because when the different ethnic of Western Africa became one, and because who were choose to be sailors and shipbuilders, they became one clan. That is how they got the name Moors. That's my understanding. And since then, we've been having this connection. And if you have Netflix, you can Google in Netflix, you can find a movie called Maracaya, who was still living in our region, at the west side of our continent, bottom, actually, south of India, west side, they're still living there. In our region, they are living in the same bottom by the sea. And in two specific places from the place where I am from here, about 200 kilometers, there is another place, Maracanam. So that is where also Maracayas live. They spread across both the states. They speak a language called RV, ARWI. You can Google it. The RV is evolved from two languages. One, Arabic and then Tamil. They infused that, and they had great literatures in that language, and people don't even know about it. It was born in this land, and they speak mostly all Tamil. Mostly they would be in a Tamil culture, dressing and everything, which will be similar to the old Egyptian one, that white waist, which we call it. So it will be that. But whatever the claim that this Native American makes, with the Moors, is absolutely baseless. That if they ever speak to any historian, anything, they will be considered as someone that mentally deranged. Because most of the people who dig into history of these people, they would know what they're talking about. They know that, what it is. So, just because they stole that label, I think we cannot see every Moors in the same lines as Yahweh. Yahweh, 99.9%, whatever he spoke is all absolutely baseless. That was my understanding. But anyway, I consider them as great people in Clubhouse, because in Clubhouse we all speak serious topics, and these people have come to entertain us and put a smile on our face. That's the way I look at them. So I think they shouldn't be brought in here now, for now at least. That's about Moors, what we know, and but in the Moors movie, that again they speak something else. Okay, anyway, the Maracaya movie, but you will, Bonnie, if you call yourself Moor, that identify, yes. But one more thing is there, that Moors, whether they wanna, and the American Moors, whether they wanna take responsibility for one thing. That's a serious accusation from my side, and I'm only saying it's not an accusation though. Based on certain books I have read when I was young, the references, though it is all based, the total story is based on fiction, certain references they've made about certain things, that is especially about the slave trade, that is, since these people had the ships and they are the sailors, they know the waterways through us, because historically that astronomy and waterways are known to us for a very long time. So after once the way was found, after Columbus, the slaves who were acquired from villages of African countries were shipped through Moor's ships. To acquire these people, that I'm sure that European wouldn't have walked into African land with white faces. I'm sure that they would have had guides and everyone to guide them to the place where they can safely take place people and load them on ships. As ship owners and ship builders and sailors, they might have helped big time, because at one point of time this acquisition going to be there in international forum if they keep climbing that they are modes. And they have to imagine that what happens about the relationship between those who call themselves as the descendants of slaves and those who call them as Moors. That's going to be a serious problem. There is one more thing that what most Americans don't even know about it is one thing, that is the Elahi Ale, the primary funder and in whose name the Ale University is. She was the prior to building that schools and colleges. He was in my land, in the city, very city where I live in right now, as a governor. And there was a lot of accusations made on him. That is because here the scenario is things cannot happen the way it happened in Africa. That is go with a couple of rifles and jump on a village and kidnap those people. No, this is not at all possible here. So here what they did is that they went to these villages and they said that's a lot of money. They paid advance to their other relatives, because every village or related to a next village. So said there is a better remuneration and come work in these places, because these people know how to work with the lands and crops and sugarcane fields, whatever. So they took them. And the primary accusation while he was here by the East India Company chief, the British government, is that he did the slave trade very secretly. Because even the Dutch fort, the Dutch has been here, Dutch people, they had a fort here, even prior to English people, and for 600 years they've been sitting along with us. They were even suspected of kidnapping people and shipping them elsewhere. And when these people, if they were put along with the African people, with a similar outfit, attire, nobody can find the difference the moment that they learn the language what they were speaking. And obviously, as we all know, that everybody's languages were destroyed, and every Afro-American is speaking English now, even since then. So no one knows whose roots are where. That is one of the reasons Elahi Yahil did not go back to Britain to report, because of the scandals, the accusations. He went straight to America back, and there he established the school and Yale schools. Then later it became Yale University. And none of the Tamilians would say the Black American parts of them are Tamil, because those people themselves, they have no clue. What I said is that they're absolutely historical based on government document. Why Elahi Yale, instead of going to England to report, why he went to America, and what happened, when he was here as a governor. So none of us say. So there are a lot of different ethnic, who were black people. They were there. They're okay, everybody is considered as people from Africa. Yes, okay, we keep going. In fact, there is a lot of other people buy government records, like from our region. They've been working in Africa after this for the last about 150, 200 years. When this guy Gandhi was in Africa in 1890 or something, something like that, in that period, the turban was filled with people from my land. So there are so many things are there, what this American natives need to know, need to understand.
Reuben.
Give me just 1 minute, and please. So just before, in fact, I was warning some of my friends here. I was saying that, we may know a lot of information. Sometimes something can be true and false. It can be whatever. But before we say that here, we also have to see the consequences which might happen in future. But the consequences will not be for one specific person. It might be for the whole ethnicity. We have to be careful on what we speak in public forum. Just because we know doesn't mean that we should talk. In fact, the day before yesterday, this discussion was happening. Because at times that besides the topics, we also discuss that, in which way we need to talk and what is it we shouldn't talk, and how do we, what kind of people we need to encourage, all that we do. So I'm saying something that I'm forcing something, and based on the statement saying that people are more, and later that there's going to be lots and lots of accusation. Everything is going to come based on the historical record. Please be aware.
Prolonging due to four beastly regime disguised as Muslim world. Satyugam possible only through straight path of